Hello everyone and welcome back to Edible Abundance Homestead. I am out here in my garden today to talk about the good weeds. It's May 6th. I haven't had a chance to plant anything for days. We've been so busy. Spring is such a crazy busy time for us between the gardens and the chickens and the preparation for dance recitals and the t-ball that my kids play. It's just go, go, go. We have been gone. We have been at practices and all that kind of stuff. And then yesterday we finally had a day home and it was raining and cold and miserable. And I just could not bring myself to come out here and plant in the rain and cold yesterday. So I haven't really gotten anything new in the ground. But I wanted to talk about a couple of weeds that are growing in my garden that I allow to stay. A weed, I've discussed this before, kind of what's a weed. It's really just a plant that's growing where you don't want it to. And some of these, even though I didn't plant them, and some of them are less desirable than others, these are just a couple things that I'm not going to go out of my way to pull. So I'll turn you around here and show you what I'm... Alright, so this first one I've showed you before. This is a potato that I did not plant. We keep the chickens in the garden over the winter and let them, till and poop and eat any leftover anything, weeds, seeds, bugs, fruits that fell, anything like that. So I toss all of our kitchen scraps out here into the garden all winter, so chickens will not eat raw potatoes. I must have cut the end off of a potato or a bad part off of a potato or something and tossed it out here, and the chickens wouldn't eat it. They buried it with their digging, and here it grows. So I am going to leave this here and see what comes of it. I don't know what kind of potato it was. I don't have any idea if this is going to turn into anything edible or not, but I think it's kind of fun, since the chickens essentially planted it for me, to just see what becomes of it. Up next we have this row of lamb's quarter. This area was planted with radishes. For some reason, they just didn't come up very well right here. I don't know if the seeds got washed away or if something came along and ate the seeds. I've had tons of birds in my garden lately. Who knows? Either way, nothing came up here. And then, I don't know, a few weeks ago, all this lamb's quarter popped up. Lamb's quarter is a weed. It is edible. And it's very similar to spinach. It does not have a strong flavor, and it's also very, very high in nutrients. As you can see, the leaves are not particularly big, especially compared to a green that's been grown for food, something that's been, selected to produce large leaves. This is not that. However, what I do, I let it grow unless it is really competing with something that I don't want it near. Then I pull it. These, when I come out here and pick spinach or chard or whatever to steam and freeze, I will grab a few of these as well, and clip off the leaves and mix it together, and you can't tell the difference. And I want to say I've read that the nutrient content of a lot of the vitamins is higher in lamb's quarter than it even is in spinach. So it's a weed, but it's a good weed to have, and just because I didn't plant it doesn't mean that I won't eat it. So the lamb's quarter is definitely okay to stay, and I'm also seeing a few of them headed to seed, so I'll probably leave them out and let them go to seed. I see one over there. I don't know. Let's see if we can put you through. That one right there is headed to seed next to those beets. I am seeing a few over there that are a little close to some of my beet plants that I might want to pull, but I'll pull it and mix it in with my spinach, and it'll be a bonus for us. One more that we have out here is dandelions. Now, dandelions are edible. However, I haven't really ever eaten them. I'm not much anyway. I've never picked them and made something out of the leaves or flowers or anything, but they are edible. I mostly keep them because My kids enjoy them. You know, what kid doesn't like to blow the seeds off of the dandelion heads? They like to pick the pretty yellow flowers, and they give me the flowers. And I do pull them if they are in my garden. But as far as this stuff around the edges, I just don't worry about it too much. And like I said, my kids like it, so I let them spread the seeds all spring for dandelions, and we definitely have plenty of dandelions growing in our yard. They're great for the bees in the spring, so they get to stay too. Thank you for joining me in the garden today. I did think of one thing I managed to plant in the past few days. I had my 90% off dahlia, if that's how you say that, bulbs. I got them planted in the little, I guess it's not much to see, but in this little section of dirt here next to the oregano, just outside my spring greens area. I got them planted the other day, and something was digging in that bed and dug one of them up, so then I replanted it. So really I planted them twice. Hopefully, it was probably a fox. I've seen a fox digging in my garden before. I think I've had fox bury things in my garden and then come back to get them. So anyway, I'm noticing as I'm out here showing you the weeds, I'm noticing my spinach is going to seed. I've got Swiss chard going to seed. I need to start pulling out some of my spring greens, and that's perfect because I really need to get my summer crops planted, and that'll give me more room for those. I also pulled some radishes the other day for my salad, and one of those radishes was really close to being too big. So I think it's time to pull the radishes, and then I just have to decide if I'm going to pull them to plant summer crops or maybe try for another round of radishes. Radishes grow super fast. They're ready in like less than 4 weeks. So it's possible I could get another crop of radishes if it doesn't get too hot too fast around here. I'll have to think about it. I need to kind of start getting my summer things out and see how my spacing plays out. I don't super over plan my garden as far as, you know, I don't have this is going in this square foot of space and this is going in this you know, square foot of space over here, that sort of thing. So I have to kind of take a look at what I have for plant starts and start putting them out, and I'll go from there. So thank you for joining me. We have to get snacks eaten so we can go back to the next dance class. And maybe slip in a little gardening in between. Thanks for watching. Bye.